Hello, everyone. Welcome to Coffee Chat with the CAO. I am Camille Duchaussee, the city's Chief Administrative Officer, and this is our inaugural episode of Coffee Chat. And I am very happy to welcome on this first episode the city's Chief Human Resource Officer, Candy Blossom Jones.
That's me. Hi,
Yes,
I'm happy to be here.
Tell us a little bit about you, Candy.
From like infancy or like from?
Let's go our profession. Candy as a professional.
Okay. So I started with the city in 2011 as a management trainee, civil service title, entry level, bachelor's degree only required, in 2011 at OHR. So I was hired onto a testing team. So the team that creates the eligible list, announces the job titles. That was in 2011. I stayed with OHR. Worked my way all the way up to the hiring services manager level, then the manager for a particular testing team. In about 2019, I transitioned, I promoted to the water department as an assistant deputy commissioner.
And we met before that.
We met before that because when I was here, you were at labor and I used to call you and complain all the time and find solutions to my problems. And so left OHR, promoted to the water department, as the Assistant Deputy Commissioner for Human Resources and Administration. Spent some time in that title and then promoted again at Water to the Deputy Commissioner for Human Resources and Administration. Mm-hmm. And then most recently, full circle coming all the way back to OHR in the Chief Human Resources Officer role.
I remember one time I talked to you, we were talking about some other issue, and I was talking to you while you were a deputy at Water, and I was trying to recruit you into labor. I don't know if you remember this. I was trying to recruit you into labor. Mm-hmm. And do you remember what you said to me?
I don't remember what I said. It's probably something terrible.
No, it wasn't terrible. What you said to me was, I really have a great interest in labor, but what I really want?
Yes.
Okay.
I remember that. I'm waiting for the director role.
Yes.
Because that has always been my goal since I started in 2011.
And you manifested it.
And here we are.
Here you are. So tell me, you've been sitting in the CHRO role since about officially November of 2024. Yeah. Where do you see yourself taking the Human Resource Department and the human resource philosophy of the City of Philadelphia?
That's a great question. So the really good thing, well, what I find most valuable about starting with the city in 2011 is that I have seen the HR function from both sides of the table, right? So from the centralized agency sort of responsible for the policy making and kind of administratively in the background, and then also at the department level where you really see where the rubber hits the road, right?
Absolutely,
so from this office, you have like that policy driven civil service regulatory arm. And then at the departments, that translates into a completely different thing, right? And so the great thing about having both sets of experience is that I've used all of those years of experience to inform now what my vision is for HR. So there's two things really. So I have always, not griped is the wrong word. I think I've always had the goal of having a consistent HR across the city, right? So having colleagues and partners and friends in all the central agencies and all the agencies across the city in HR, knowing that the function is being administered in a different way in each of the departments, in a good way, both good, bad, and ugly, right?
Yeah.
And so knowing that an employee experience looks different if you're hired at police or fire or streets or water or OHR, for me, that has always been something that I wanted to rectify and improve.
I think we aligned on that very early on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, like that employee should have the same, if not very similar experience in any city department, right? Because at the end of the day, we are one organization.
Yes.
Like, although it's 48 departments, like you're working for the city of Philadelphia. And so the first important part of the work is to establish the HR University, right? So recognizing that we have such talented HR managers across the city, we have great people, we need to properly give them the resources to do the job in a more efficient way, but also like build their foundation of knowledge.
I love that, yes.
And so HR University is that. So that's the first kind of pillar that I'm like walking into this role on, being able to establish what that body of knowledge looks like and really
tell people a little bit more about what your vision of HR University is?
So HR University is that corporate university model, right? And so it is, I wanted to very much to look like and feel like school, look like a collegiate level program. It will have, core 100 level classes, 200 level, 300, 400, and a capstone project. And so there'll be a track that's going to be designed for HR managers that are currently in the role. And then there'll be a foundations track established for everyone that's not quite yet at that HR manager in title. And so we're preparing them as soon as they enter at the management trainee level, a set of classes that they'll be in together, and then they'll take those classes up until they're eligible for HR manager.
Do you envision this as also an opportunity for maybe our team members who are not in human resources to be able to kind of acquire some skill and possibly have a career pivot?
Absolutely. So it is meant to also be an upskilling opportunity, right?
Nice.
Some of those titles, the HR titles, are requiring bachelor's degrees. Some of them also allow a non-bachelor degree candidate to qualify with a SHRM certification. Why can't HR University be the equivalent of a SHRM certification,
Love
right?
it. Yes.
And so as we build the program, as we get the program up and running, and we have kind of certified vendors doing the training, then this becomes the prerequisite to qualify for HR manager or qualify for management trainee in lieu of a bachelor's degree or a SHRM certification. So that's the first part. So super excited to launch HR University. It's like a cool logo. I'm gonna get hoodies and lanyards. It's cool. And then the second part, and sort of springing off of HR University, is really building a community of HR managers. I think everyone approaches the work as like at a department level. This is my work, my department, my employees, right? But again, City of Philadelphia, right? We are one employer, and so through HR University and through kind of establishing a closer knit relationship to my role, we're building community so that people can rely, ask questions, build best practices across the entire organization.
I don't think I've met a human resource manager or even a human resource professional in the city who hasn't expressed that, like express a want to, you know, have more training and understand better how as a community we can network and better support our employees. I think it's a great thing that you're doing, and I can't wait to see it come to full fruition.
I'm really excited. The first class of HR University happened a couple of weeks ago, and it's funny, the HR managers in that room at the end of the session, like I got all these nice emails about like they're excited, but really they sat in a room and someone cried because they're sharing their experiences, whether they're fantastic or they're negative, but it's common experiences, right? That thread that they're dealing with kind of goes through everyone. And so realizing the person next to you is dealing with the same challenges, trying to troubleshoot solutions to the same problems, it really unifies the group. And so that's what I'm looking to do across all 48 departments.
And we're finding that it's less the transactional activity that is driving the work of human resource professionals. More so, it's the human relationships, that community. That
was really corny. Not the human and human resources.
Yes, the human. I used that during my first interview ever.
You shouldn't.
Well, I did. I got the job, so I think I did pretty well. I want to put the human back in human resources. Absolutely, it's a tagline that worked. At least in the 80s, it worked. I don't know
in the
about
80s. Okay.
So moving on, I think there's another place that we have kind of shared expectation and vision, and it's around equipping our workforce with information to determine their own decision making, right? Give them as much information. We want people to be educated and make informed choices when it affects them from a human resource perspective. Tell me some of the things that you're doing in order to forward that vision.
So I'm all about communications.
You are.
I think I inundated, when I was at the water department in the deputy role, like I inundated people with emails, conversation, coffee chats, office time, office hours. And so trying to now scale that, because it worked at water, scale that into this role, providing as much access to information as possible. So we have an existing employee intranet. It's housed with OHR, but it's limited to folks who are connecting into the network, and I'm not an IT professional, so this is gonna be bad. But whoever's not on the network or plugged into a city device, they can't access it because it requires like proxy server or whatever that is. And so the goal was to create a forward-facing, public-facing intranet. I know that sounds like the two things don't go together, right? But all the things that our employees care about, like their benefits or kind of EAP services or jobs or any of that, or salary structures, and all of those things that our employees care about are the same things that attract people to working for the City of Philadelphia. So why not make the intranet accessible to all? And so if you go to employee.phila.gov, well, we're building the website now. It's up and running, but as we add to it, that's all the information anyone could need who currently works for the city and who's maybe interested in working for the city. And so that centralized hub now doesn't have any barriers. You don't have to be on the network. You don't have to be on a city device.
Lovely.
You can just access it online.
Okay, say that one more time. So, and make sure everyone knows
Gotcha.
where they. So, because
Right.
this is a sore spot for both of us,
Yes.
right? We have an employee newsletter. We know not every employee has access to city email,
Right.
and so bridging that gap to make sure that we're communicating with equity across our enterprise has been an issue, and I think this is a huge step in kind of closing that gap. So
Right.
let's just make
So-
sure everybody knows it, and let's say it one more time.
Employee.phila.gov.
Okay.
And everything will be there, benefits packages, salary, all the City of Philadelphia HR policies will be on there, all archived copies of the newsletter. And so all of the information that anyone could ever need will be in this centralized hub. And so
Nice.
as we build it and grow it, it really should be the one-stop shop for anything about working for the
And
city.
it's still evolving,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Staff can go there now, our employees can go there now, our team members go there now. And it may not be completely what they need. And just as a reminder, we're
growing.
the humans still in human
Right.
resources. We can still reach out to OHR, to our
Yes.
departmental human resource partners. But this is a place where you can control your access,
Right.
your interests, and
Right.
your search.
And there's a suggestion box on it, right? So we're growing it. And so on that webpage, there is, were you looking for something that's not here?
Yeah.
Tell us what it is so that we can add it to the page. That's there too.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe let's change, pivot a little bit.
Yeah.
Something a little lighter, a little more fun. Tell me about your favorite movie.
Okay, which one? The good one or the bad one? Wait, because you said, okay, full disclosure, right? I said Lion King and you
did.
laughed at me.
Yes.
You asked me if I was 12.
Well,
and I said sometimes.
you didn't have to say that part, but okay.
Sometimes, right? I mean, the child in me comes out.
The non-animated version of your favorite
Lion
movie.
King is so good. Okay.
It is a
I
good
do-
movie. I
so
do think from a Disney perspective, though, Beauty and the Beast.
Better than Lion King? Are you kidding me?
For sure.
Who
The
are
best
you?
music. Where's the best music? Best Disney music.
Aladdin.
No.
No.
Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Ew,
Yes.
no.
Oh my God. Yes. You can belt out a song in that.
The
yeah.
Lion King is better.
Okay. Anyway.
Real topic. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Favorite movie. Going back to so I was an English major, double major English and African American history in college. Love Jane Austen.
Okay.
Pride and Prejudice is my favorite movie.
Mr. Davigne.
It is like I bought that movie on Amazon Prime. How you can buy it, like you can. So because I was renting it so much, I was wasting money.
Okay.
And it would go away after 48
Yes.
hours. And so I bought it and I put it on at least twice a week. Like when I'm like winding down from work, I put it on. I love it, and I know all the lines, and I read the book often. I know.
Okay.
No
Well,
judgment.
Jane Austen, huge fan.
Yes.
Sense and Sensibility, though, it's more
No.
to my liking.
Absolutely not.
Okay. And I don't think I'm saying anything that you don't know. You're rather known for being candy. And candy shows up a very specific way. Tell us a little bit about some of your fashion inspiration.
I don't know if it's inspiration rather than like there are no rules, there are no bounds. Like, you know how there are people that like organize their closets and they put away winter clothes in the spring and vice versa?
Yeah.
I don't do that. All the clothes are available at any time. I don't care about the weather,
Yeah.
the temperature, it does not matter. I'm a big proponent in how you show up in the world is important.
Love it.
Because some people remember what you say in a room, and then also the others remember how you present, right?
Yes.
And so
That's the first impression.
exactly.
Yes.
And so my goal is always to leave a lasting impression, and so I really don't have any rules for I just wear what makes me feel good, and so
nice.
I just go with that.
I have a similar rule. It's mostly around shoes, though.
Okay.
Like I think shoes make a statement.
Yes.
And they have to be comfortable. So if those two things, if they make a statement, if they're comfortable, I'm going to wear them, and it
that.
does make me feel a certain way when I'm in the room.
Right?
Yeah.
It's the same. It's how you feel.
It's hard to present as me.
Right.
In sneakers, in my opinion.
Agreed. Right.
Yeah.
So I care less about comfort.
Yeah.
But definitely.
Yes. We've had that conversation too.
But
4 inches at a minimum.
minimum, but definitely statement for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate you being my first visitor.
Of course, this is fun.
And this is going to happen way more often, I think.
They should just film us when we're not looking because it's hysterical that way too.
Folks just don't know that this is a very kind of tame version of our banter. So I look forward to having this chat with you more often.
Thank you for having me. This is great.
Okay.
Awesome.
So thank you everyone for watching. I look forward to the next Coffee Chat with the CAO and sharing more about all of the interesting and great people that are working with us here in the city of Philadelphia, and look forward to chatting with our next guest real soon.